Yeah, Neil.
Yeah, look, we'll let Neil answer the medical questions, I think.
Okay. Perhaps I could put the whole thing into context for you. Andrew injured his neck at training last Thursday night. I saw him after training, and he had suffered a flexion injury during that training session. Prior to that, he'd had two other injuries, one in the game against Canberra on the Monday night, and another one 2 days later. It was obvious on Thursday night that he had done some serious damage to his neck. The extent of that was entirely unclear. Now, his immediate problem is a facet joint injury in the neck, which is something which is very painful, but in itself not serious. But on scanning today, the scanning does confer a facet joint, but it also shows a disc injury, which is not causing any symptoms at all at the moment, but is nonetheless quite serious and potentially a cause of a serious neck injury. This disc injury is not related to the previous one Andrew had 3 years ago. It wasn't present on his previous scans. It's entirely asymptomatic. But the problem he has is that while his pain at the moment is not a great problem, the facet joint's not a major problem, he's at serious risk of a serious catastrophic spinal injury if he plays on. So on that basis, we've advised him to retire from football forthwith. We don't believe that surgery has anything to offer him, or any other form of treatment will make any real difference to the outcome. So he was seen today by Professor John Yeo and myself, and we've both strongly advised him. In fact, I don't think there's any serious other option but to retire forthwith from football.
You might talk about him being able to live a normal life.
Yes, that's a good point that Ken makes. In the absence of playing football, there is no reason for Andrew not to live a perfectly normal life, including all other activities he wishes to partake in. He should have no great long-term problem.
What was your immediate reaction when you heard that advice?
Well, mate, look, I'm still in shock. I was in shock when it happened. Just totally numb. It was really tough telling my family. It had an emotional call to my brother Matthew, and it was even tougher talking to the players this afternoon. But I wanted to tell them before I'd done the conference. It's been a massive shock.
How did Matt and the family, mate? Obviously, your well-being's there first.
Oh, look, they were sort of relieved, I think, after a couple of the injuries this year. They were shaken up after I got knocked out in the first round. And then they've sort of known that the neck's been sore for a couple of weeks, so I think they're relieved. I think the time's right.
Do you feel a little logged in a way? I mean, a player like yourself shouldn't have to retire this way?
Oh, look, would have loved to finish with a premiership, but look, this could have happened when I was 19 years old. I've achieved so much in the game, and I've regarded myself to be very lucky. So it is a shock, but look, I'm not totally disappointed because I've had some great memories, and the main thing, had some great friendships, which is the most treasured thing I've got out of the game.
And telling the players, mate, just sort of walk us through it, how tough was that for you?
It was one of the most emotional things I had to do. It was really tough. I think they were in a bit of shock too, so it was pretty tough.
How do you think they took it, mate? Obviously, wanted to make sure you're okay, but...
Yeah, I don't know. They were pretty quiet. Nothing's really said, but each one came up and shook my hand. I don't know what to say, mate.
What is Joey set up for life after football?
Well, we'll start a new career. I was saying to him earlier that it was only a couple of years ago that I had a meeting with his brother Matthew, and he was faced with 1 or 2 operations, neck and shoulder, to continue playing, and he retired, and it was sort of started a new career for him, and I'm really looking forward to working with Andrew in developing his new career as a retired player. I think his potential and the standing he has not only in rugby league but in sport generally holds him in extremely high stead, and so it'll be an exciting thing to work with him on that. I have no doubt he will be as successful in the new career as he has been in the one he's about to depart from now.
Andrew, you've been told that you can resume normal life activities. Obviously for you that's surfing. Is that going to be an issue?
Not for a while. I've got to let the disc settle down. I've got to get a couple of cortisone shots in the facet joint. So I think I'll be putting the feet up for a couple of months. And this year I'm going to work closely also with the Knights still. I'm still going to be out of training and help out there. So still got something to do there.
Andrew, did your brother Matthew advise you to retire on the weekend prior to the results of these scans being known today?
I had a chat to him this morning, just after I had the scan, and he said, I think it's time. And that was before the scans had come back, so it must be a fortune teller.
Joe, did you need to know the scans, or did you know in your heart last Monday or Thursday training that was it?
I knew as soon as I had the collision, I knew pretty much it was really serious. Just the pain or the sensation I got in my leg, I knew that it was very serious. And then, luckily enough, Neil was at training, and I saw him, and Professor Yeo, who was so kind and let me go around to his house on Good Friday and saw me, and then I pretty much knew it was bad news there.
Did you come in today with any hope?
No, because when I got the results, I opened them up and read the report. So it was fairly. I didn't understand most of it. It was fairly long, so I knew there was some stuff going on there.
You sat down and you talked to your son about your decision?
I spoke to him on the phone. He's away at the moment, but he understands.
Have you thought about life after footy, mate? Because obviously it's been such a huge chunk of your life.
Look, I've given it a lot of thought, I suppose, in the last off season, coming to this year, about where I knew the end would be coming soon. And look, I knew in my heart that this year would be my last year. It's just unfortunate that it stopped 5 months before I would have towards the end of the season. So for me, it's the next big challenge, I suppose. Life after football, but it's one I'm looking forward to.
You talked about memories without going through the whole list of them, because obviously there's plenty. What are some of the standouts, mate?
I think the two premierships are definitely the standout. Just so emotional winning both those games. I think the biggest thing for me has been the friendships I've made, which will last a lifetime. A lot of them are the guys who played at Newcastle, and also I suppose the guys I've played with at rep football. It's been like an absolute dream for me.
Fordo, do you think Andrew will be remembered as the best player who's played the game? What's your view there?
Well, there are plenty of views out there that say that. I'm only one of those. I've been watching football for a long time, which covering both rugby union and rugby league. He's by far the best player I've seen play the game. But there are more qualified people than me who've said that as well. You name them, Ricky Stewart, Johnny Raper, the whole lot of them will say it. So I'm sure tomorrow's newspapers and radio and television programs will provide him with the accolades that he deserves, and that is he's the game's best player.
Joe, with the injuries you've had in the last couple of years, have you ever envisaged how this day was going to happen when it finally came?
I never really wanted to think about it. It's a shame it's finished like this, but it had to finish sometime.
Is there going to be a time where you're going to groove? Is that going to be a personal thing sometime tonight with your family next year? You said you're still in shock.
It was hard talking to my brother when I was on the phone to him. But I think once I get home I will.
Has the fact you've had such a fabulous career, Joe, make it easier?
I don't know. I swore myself coming out I wouldn't cry on television, but
You're Bob Hawke.
it is really emotional. I think just because I love playing that much, and just going to miss it that much. But the next chapter opens, and it's probably a big challenge now. What I do after my football.
No matter what you do you intend to stay in Newcastle and keep that connection with the Knights going?
I don't really know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I haven't really given it much thought. I'll definitely stay involved in the near future with Newcastle and pass on as much as I can to the younger players. In what capacity, I haven't really spoke to the club yet, but I'll be hanging around this year for sure. Look, my link with Newcastle will be there for life. I think anyone who's lived in this town has always considered himself a Novocastrian at heart.
Joey, blokes like Freddie and BK, will you be turning to them as a reference point in the next couple of days because they've gone through this?
I've had a sort of chat to Freddie a while ago about it, and then I got some nice texts off Ben this morning. I think I'll sound them out in the near future, but I think I'm going to be pretty busy in the next couple of days, and then I'm going to look to get away, and I suppose that's the time when sort of confront all these issues.
I know you talked about shock, mate, but would relief be something as well? Because obviously the last couple of days must have been pretty torturous.
Talking to Neil today and the professor, I realised how lucky I am that I haven't had a serious neck injury or a serious accident and been in a wheelchair, because it only had to be one knock, and it was a fairly simple knock that I got at training, and I was in agony. So I'd hate to think if a full-blown hit in the field would have what it could have done. So I'm indebted to Neil, who has helped me out over the years with them injuries, and Professor Yao, who is retired but still saw me at his home on Good Friday.
So in some respects you feel like you might have done the bullet?
Yeah, definitely.
Are you feeling relief for feeling right now?
I don't know what I'm feeling at the moment. I'm just totally numb, and I knew the neck was really serious, so I feel a little bit like I dodged a bullet, but I'm in shock.
So when you made your debut, if that afternoon someone had said to you, you're going to win this many Dally M's, you're going to win this many premierships, you're going to win this many rep jumpers, and then you're going to retire under these circumstances, would you take it? Would you have taken it there and then?
Of course I would.
Yeah.
Of course I would. I've said before, I've had a fairy tale career. I consider myself very lucky, and I never ever take for granted of what I've done. I've really felt privileged to have played this game and done so many things.
Brian, would this be the eeriest furling you've felt in your time in football?
Yeah. But a man's been a super player, but he's not superhuman, You can't, and no one gets to write the script of the end of their career, like they don't get to write the script for the beginning or the middle either. It's a sad day. Danny Baderis had a few words over at the training ground at Balance, and I think he spoke for everybody, including me, when he said it's been a privilege to have played, or in my case to have coached, only for a very short time for me, but I think Andrew, to have been involved with Andrew in the capacities that all those guys have, being his mate as well as a teammate, they have treasured those occasions. They now got a huge obligation to their footy club, and I think they've got a bit of an obligation to Andrew as well, to make sure that we keep up the standards that he set in this club during his illustrious career.
Jonah, who do you think is the best player you've played against, or the bloke you've enjoyed playing against the most? Maybe a couple of names.
Well, I think Darren Lockyer stands out, and Brad Fittler, and all these great players. It's hard to say. Them two definitely stand out. Alfie, Ricky Stewart, the great halfbacks have been lucky to play against, but those players stand out.
We would like one more last time. I'm sure the fans would like one more last time to see it in the middle. Next time game or something.
It'd be great to play so many more games here and experience what it's like to have a big win and hear that Newcastle chant. But so I'll be the one screaming Newcastle out now in the crowd.
Joe, what was left?
Would have loved to win another premiership, to captain another premiership here. It's you ask any player, it's the ultimate in football. And I think as you get older, you realise just how special they are and how much hard work goes into them. Unfortunately, during my career, I think probably wasted opportunities, but feel lucky to have won two.
What do you feel is the biggest wasted opportunity?
Oh, just, there was times when I thought we had the team to take it out, and for whatever reason, we didn't achieve that.
How much does it mean you've been able to play your career at one club hometown?
Yeah, that's something that is very special to me. I grew up just down the road in Cessnock. Since the Knights came in, I followed them, and get the opportunity to come and play here and to chase my dreams in my hometown and play my whole career here. It's very lucky.
Joe, career-wise, something will sort itself out. Obviously, you've got your fingers in the pie of the media. What about, is there something you can think will replace the competitive edge or competitive, the lure of competition that's made your career what it is?
Maybe them cooking classes Catherine's got me booked in for. I don't know, that's the next big challenge for me, where that goes.
Joey, can the Knights still be a force without you this year?
Yeah, definitely. I think we showed on the weekend. We're not far off. We've got some great young talent coming through, and I think with Denny coming back on the weekend, it really helped us. So I think they're definitely a chance.
What happened is this latest knock occurred the disc problem. Has he been carrying this unbeknownst for a few weeks now, or even longer?
It's probably, I think the evidence is he's been carrying it for some months. There's no easy way of telling. All I can say is the current disc injury was not present on his previous scans as recently as a bit over 2 years ago. It's developed since. It's calcified, so it's been there for some time. It's not entirely new. But recent injuries have precipitated it and made it obvious. Yeah, increased the size of it.
Impact from the concussion against the Bulldogs?
I don't think there's any evidence of that. A few people have asked me that, but I don't think there's any evidence whatsoever that's the case. You see, the point is that this particular disc injury is not symptomatic. It's not where Andrew's having his pain. He had no pain after that incident. I think that's drawing a long bow to make any connection between the two.
How big was the shock when you saw the scan?
I didn't expect it. The professor didn't expect it either, and it was mentioned on the report, but it was actually a bit bigger than the report would have suggested. It was quite a decent-sized disc protrusion, and certainly not one that you could have ignored or just say, well, we'll leave it alone and see what happens.
Neil, how do you rate Andrew? I mean, you've been a sports doctor for however long?
26 years.
His 26 years. His ability to play with pain, his levels of toughness, and we've seen the injuries he's had, small and large.
Well, I don't know how you quantify these things. I mean, there's a spectrum between being tough and being an absolute lunatic. I think Andrew's towards the lunatic state in a nice way. Certainly I've never met anyone who was as tough as Andrew, taking pain, playing with pain, putting it in the back of his mind. And there are dangers in doing that, but certainly it's an absolute phenomenal capacity that he does have. I wish I had it.
Joey, all the praise and the accolades that you receive and you're going to receive even more after this, what does that mean to you?
I don't know really.
Is it embarrassing or what?
Well, I don't know how to answer that question, sorry.
Joe, it's safe to say when you walk out today, this might be one thing that you won't miss in your life, maybe the scrutiny and the public.
Yeah, definitely.
It comes with your position.
Yeah, I think everyone knows it wears me down. So I'm definitely looking forward to a quieter life now.
Dr. Halpin, can he still play cricket for New South Wales?
If selected.
How are you going to go being a spectator, John?
Well, I don't know. I'm not very good. It was excruciating watching on the weekend. I don't know. Something left to learn to do.
Anything further? Andrew, living a normal life.
Thank you.